Hey gang, how we doing? I just wanted to make a video to let you guys know I'm still alive. I know you're used to seeing nearly a video a day from me, but I feel like my last video's been about 5 or 6 days. Anyways, there's a reason for that, and that has been, it's freaking cold. Right now, I think it's about 28 degrees, which so I grew up in northern Kentucky. And ever since I left home, that's the coldest climate I've ever lived in. And ever since I left home, I've been someplace really warm. And so I'm a total sis to cold weather. Right now, outside, it's about 28 degrees, and we're in the warm of the day. It's 2:53. It's not going to get any warmer than that. Inside my garage, it's about 44 degrees, 45, 44, something like that. Which is, it's not too bad. I get it. But I don't want to be out here. It's cold. And, but I realize y'all want to see something because I'm not the only chainsaw guy that's not putting out a lot of videos right now. Yeah, a lot of the channels that I watch, they're not putting out many videos, and I think it's because of the cold. But anyways, some are. Charlie's still putting out videos. Smitty's still putting out videos. Canuck is still putting out videos. But anyways, point is, what's this video about? I am very excited because I finally got a saw that I have been wanting for quite a while. And now, could I have bought one? Yeah. But I was looking for two things that I couldn't find. Both in the same saw. This is a Shindaiwa 488. Okay? And the two things that I was looking for was A, really good condition. Really good condition. This one right here, on these side covers, if it looks like that, you know that this thing does not have much use, because every single time you fill it up, that's what you do. You lay it on that side every single time. And so whenever the paint is in good shape like that, you know that this saw has been filled up very minimal times. So I got this, so I've been really wanting it. Oh, that was number one thing, and a really good deal. So I just couldn't find those two things combined. And I was holding out, and I'm very glad that I did, because I finally got exactly what I wanted. An exceptional, it's a very clean saw. It's not exceptional, all right, but it is a very clean saw, and it was a really good deal for me. But I got this, and I got something that I was really wanting. This one didn't need to be in such clean shape. I don't know why I wanted it out of the 488 to be in such clean shape. I don't know. But the other one is the Shindaiwa 680. Now, this one is in good, clean shape, but it's missing the decals, and it has a knock on the cover right there. These are the old school versions that had metal starter recoils, and so they tended to break off whenever you let go and it comes back and it slaps it. That's 9 times out of 10. That's how that stuff happens. You pull start it, and then you just let go while it's up here instead of easing it back down. Whenever you do that, that handle comes down and flops and pow, smacks things. So 9 times out of 10, that's what's happening. But this is a Shindaiwa 680. Now, I really wanted one of these because from what I could tell, these are like the best of both worlds. So it's as small, it is almost just, it's so similar in size to this. Look at that. They're almost the same freaking saw. Now, they are different. This tank will not fit here, or at least they're different part numbers. The side cover isn't interchangeable. The cases aren't interchangeable. All that stuff. It is not the same saw, but they are really close dimensionally. I mean, really close. And what's the big deal about that? Well, that one down there is 49 cc's, and it's a normal size for a 4950 cc saw. Totally normal. This one is 68 cc's. So it is exceptionally small, right? According to Mike Akers' site, website, I just call it Akers Chainsaw. That's how I know it. According to that, this is 12.7 pounds, and the Husqvarna 266, 268, 272 is 13.7 pounds. So it's an entire pound lighter than the Husqvarnas. It is definitely considerably smaller and more compact than the Husqvarnas, and it puts out more power. In order to get more power, according to the ratings, in order to get more power than this from the Husqvarnas, you have to step up to the 272 XP. So the 268, the 266, the 268 XP, all of those were rated at, I believe, 4.6 horsepower. This is rated at 4.7 horsepower. And it is noticeably smaller and lighter than the Husky. Now, I haven't ran this thing yet because it's cold. I don't want to get out there and run it whenever it's cold. So but I do suspect that this is going to vibrate a good bit because that piston is really big for what we got going on here, you know. But it's not that big because it doesn't have to be. It's only a 49 millimeter piston, right? Which, whatever. But the stroke is 36 millimeter. So it's got the same stroke of a 372 XP, right? So, and I've looked in the cylinder best I can. I believe that the 695 version of this saw, it's the same saw, it's just updated to a 695. I believe it had an open port cylinder on it. Not 100% certain on that. I even think that the later versions of the 680, like we have here, had an open port version. But the earlier versions had a closed port 68cc cylinder setup. So, that being said, I do believe that this is a closed port setup. I can't quite tell because on these things, they wanted to keep the height down as low as possible. And so that spark plug almost sticks horizontal out this way. So you can't see down into the cylinder very well at all. I took the muffler off and the spark plug out, and I was looking down in there, but I'm not going to know for 100% sure whether it's a closed or open port. I'm not going to know that for 100% until I can actually tear it into it and port it, you know, which maybe I'll never do. I don't know. But very cool. I got two saws, two Shindaiwas that I wanted. And honestly, at this point, I don't need any more Shindaiwas. My collection is like complete. So for at least for now, I am solid and golden on my Shindaiwa collection. I got the 488. I have the 575. The 575 is completely disassembled and it's sitting back behind me on the floor in a box. I plan on doing things to that. But I've got the 488. I've got the 575. I've got the 680. I have the 757. And I have the 600 SX. I would kind of like to have the 492. But I just can't bring myself to do it because I've already got the Echo version of that saw, the 4910, ported by Charlie Briscoe. So I just can't bring myself to buy something needlessly kind of thing. They're all needless because really, I mean, I could do all the work that I do with like 5 chainsaws and I'm golden. But I'm not a collector, right? RC. But yeah, at this point, I'm definitely a collector. Anyways, I just want to do a quick video for you guys so that you could see what was going on, why I haven't been putting out videos. Oh, the other reason I haven't been putting out videos is because, like, I've been working on these 4910s. You know, and the last video I did was on the 4910s, and it didn't get very many views at all. I understand it. Who wants to see me work on 5 of the same saws? But I have them all done. All the cylinders are done and ported up. All the muffler mods are done. And 3 of them are completely assembled and back together. And I've got to reassemble the other 2. And then they'll be ready to ship. I've got to test them first. I've got to fire everything up and run it and make sure everything's kosher. And I still have 1 more of those left. And it's going to be the nastiest of the versions. And so we decided on $450 shipped to your door. If you want a 4910, it's going to be a good functioning 4910 that's in good shape, you know, that's been ported, muffler mod, the works, everything. $450 shipped to you. As long as you're in the United States, the continental United States. If you're outside, if the shipping is expensive, you're going to have to chip in on that. But most of the time, I can ship it for about $20. So I'll eat that cost. But yeah, you're not going to get a better deal on a 4910. And I still have 1 left. So if you want one, now's the time to speak up, because they're almost done. I will be shipping them out next week, unless something happens and you know, I mean, you know, I built the last one that I built. As soon as I fired it up, it blew, because I guess I had my carburetor set too lean. I won't make that mistake this time. I'm going to be firing those things up rich. But anyways, yeah. So that's what we got going on. I'm really happy about my 2 really cool Shindaiwa saws that I've been wanting for. Oh, what did I pay for them? All right. Both of these saws came by the way of a man named Chris. We'll just call him Chris. I don't know if he wants his last name mentioned, but he clearly collects these Shindaiwas. He's got a lot of them. He must have had a pretty proper dealership close by him, is my guess, because, you know, he's able to find them. They're hard to find for most people. Extremely hard to find. But anyways, he sent me a 757, and I am going to port it. And that is the payment for these 2 saws. So I'm really happy about that. Because the 757s run so good. I'm happy to do that. It works out nice. They really run excellent. And I'm just going to do pretty much the exact same thing that I did to my 757, and the thing runs awesome. Awesome! I hope this thing really kicks ass. You know? I think that it will. I don't know. It probably won't. But these are one of those saws that, like, all the Shindaiwas pretty much are hard to find. And I gotta say, they might have stepped up and became my favorite saws, even over John Sered. Because they're just good, you know? This is a 68cc saw that's 12.7 pounds. And, you know, in stock trim, the Japanese really like to run a really big squish. And I'm certain that this is going to have a really big squish. And so in stock trim, that 4.7 horsepower is going to be, oh, okay. You know, all right. You know, nothing special. But whenever you combine that with the size, wow. And then you go, I know I can port that and get probably a shit ton of power. And then it's like, wow, that's really awesome. So this is really roughly the size of a Husqvarna 359, you know, but it has 10 more cc's. That's pretty awesome. All right, that's enough. And I think it's supposed to be pretty warm tomorrow, but like Friday next week, this is what it's like living in Atlanta. It's cold, and it's been cold for a little while, like a week, right? Been pretty cold. And but next Friday, I think it's supposed to be up to 70. So yeah, it gets cold here. It does. It gets really cold, bitter cold. And part of that is because, you know, it doesn't stay cold, and so we're not used to it. So whenever it's 15 degrees, we're like, whoa, that's cold. Because we don't dress right for it and everything. So there's that. And then at the same time, it'll get cold, but then all of a sudden a week later, you've got a complete swing in temperature, and you're going to be all the way up to 70. That's what it's like living in Atlanta. I just hope this year we get snow.